Today I'm back with yet another installment of ridiculous things that lawyers have said on the internet. If you haven't seen them, I've talked about former lawyers being accused of being bitter here, and here, and about a law firm partner's self-congratulatory anti-work from home op-ed here. Today we're going to talk about a piece that generated a lot of discussion inside the Collaborative, which is my program where I help lawyers figure out what they want to do that isn't practicing law and how to get there. Here's the title of the piece that generated this discussion. COVID-19 threatens to blow up law firms' intense office culture for good. If only it were that easy. Let's dive in. If you're new here, I'm Sarah Cottrell. I practiced law for 10 years, and now I help unhappy lawyers ditch their soul-sucking jobs. So the general gist of this piece is that large law firms, which have typically been pretty resistant to their lawyers working from home, may be forced to change since it's now been definitively proven that yes, in fact, lawyers can do their jobs working from home. And let's be super clear, it's never been about whether law firms can tell if their people are being productive. I mean, check out this quote in the article. The challenge isn't determining who's being productive because we know exactly how they're working because they record their time in 6-minute increments. Yes, they do. The problem, this particular firm chair said, is picking up on subtle cues and identifying when an associate is struggling and needs help. Okay, now seriously. For anyone who's watching this and has worked in Biglaw, do you genuinely believe that the main reason that your law firm wants you to be working in the office is so that they can identify associates who are struggling in order to help them? Especially when one of the biggest struggles that associates have is balancing their work life with the rest of their life, which is helped by working from home. The article points out that a survey that Thomson Reuters did early this year showed that less than 10% of lawyers wanted to return to the office full-time. With the market for legal talent the way it is, firms have had to adapt to this overwhelming preference in order to compete for top talent. But as per usual, there's the classic pushback. We've all heard ad nauseum about various emails that have circulated that are claiming that remote work will be the end of the legal profession. Often people cite preservation of a law firm's culture as a reason to oppose remote work. One Biglaw chair is quoted in the article saying, "Eventually, that style of working will eat away at the culture and fabric of the firm." But do big law firms really have a culture that we want to preserve? I'm not the only one asking this question. It's raised explicitly in the article. The article quotes a former Biglaw associate about the culture that was present at her law firm. Let me just read this to you because it is chef's kiss. This associate told the reporter she and her colleagues would make a point of leaving a cap off their highlighter and the lights on when they left the office. That way, a partner who came by might think the associate was in the bathroom. Quote, "That was the culture," she says. I mean, good grief. Who wouldn't want to preserve that? And then there's this quote from my retired cravat partner. No surprise, the dude is very into in-person work. Speaking about associates, he says, even if they hate us, they should be in our presence as much as they can so that they can learn. Whoa, dude. Hate you? Where did that come from? People just want to try to eke out a bit of an existence outside of their job and not be consumed by work. Now, it's not all bad. There are some big firms who have recognized that allowing their lawyers to work from home full-time is very helpful to many different types of lawyers, including, in particular, working parents. And to those firms, I say kudos, and I hope many more join you. For yet another amazing take on the work from home debate, check out this video where I share about an op-ed that claims that working from home is bad for morale. I'll see you in the next video.